So when we think about financing new assets, and we've just talked about looking after existing assets, in terms of getting a revenue base from local government in Australia, it's typically rate paying fund, right? But it's different in the US, isn't it? Just explain how the bond system works, just high level.
Sure. So from a revenue perspective of a local government, we also depend on rates through property taxes. But some local governments in the U.S. are also able to assess sales tax.
Yeah.
So there's a component of sales tax that's part of the local revenue. And there are some communities that also generate or collect income taxes from the income earners in the community. So some of that taxes goes to the federal government, to the state government, and some of that stays locally. So those are the three primary sources of revenues for most local governments in the U.S. And it varies by state. And so how the United States primarily funds public infrastructure is through the issuance of bonds, which is essentially going to the market and borrowing money. And the federal government provides an incentive by making those who invest in those municipal bonds not pay taxes on the interest that they earn. So these bonds are tax exempt as an incentive. And the thinking really is, if I need a bridge today, I will borrow money to build the bridge today rather than wait 20 years when I have the cash to build the bridge. So that's kind of the philosophy around how the U.S. funds most of its infrastructure is through borrowing rather than pay as you go. In the case of utilities like treatment plants, wastewater plants, we issue bonds for those, but the revenue from that infrastructure, for that asset or that utility, is typically what repays for those bonds. So not necessarily the rates from the community, but it's the fees that the community pays for that service. Those fees are used in repayment of that principal and interest.